Data obtained by the Afrobarometer revealed that 71% of the Gambians expressed support for a new constitution. Awasane picked up the rest of that story.
The Center for Research Policy Development, through its Afrobarometer Round 10 data dissemination event, presented the outcome of a survey of the citizens' review on the constitutional reform process, which indicates that 71% of Gambians expressed their support of the draft constitution. The rejected constitution should be reintroduced to the National Assembly for amendment. Here is Seth Matijau, National Investigator for Center for Research and Policy Development, presenting the data collected from the public.
71% express support for a new national constitution, while a quarter, 24%, say there is no need for a new constitution. And we've also seen that two-thirds, that is almost 7 out of 10 Gambians agree or strongly agree that the rejected 2020 constitution should be reintroduced to the National Assembly for amendment. Only 3 in 10, 29% say the National Assembly was right to reject the draft constitution proposed in 2020. And I think
Mr. Zhao also shed light on the demographic representation of people from both the rural and urban areas, linking it to education and the rejection of the draft constitution by the National Assembly. The general analysis of people when it comes to UDP and NPP indicates that they do feel that both parties are not committed to a new constitution. Regarding the term limit in the constitution, the survey reveals that 86% of the population supports the constitution should have a limit on how long a president should serve. Reacting to the survey, Anita Mahoney from Gambia participates, says she is not surprised by the outcome of the survey and calls on civil society organizations to examine the draft constitution.
Conveyed an event called the Constitution we wanted as well, and like I've already said, I'm not surprised, or most of us won't be surprised of the outcomes of the survey that has been presented to us today. And this also put in like a bit of steps for us as civil society to start looking at, especially when it comes to stressing the need for transparency and inclusivity and public engagement, because there has been talks already about the 2024 draft, even though most of us have not looked into it in depth. So I definitely would want to call on civil society. We need, even if it means us looking at it clause by clause, because people have already, shaped their own opinions about it already. And most of us know how Gambians are like, because most of us are based on sectors and what we hear from them. Some are mainly on political, some are on religious. So whatever a political party will tell you about the draft constitution, most Gambians will follow their political parties, or whatever would be, the religious views of the constitution. Most people will take or look at it from that end. So for us as civil society, I believe that it is of essence that we definitely sit together, look at this new draft constitution before even already, because some people have already discredited the draft.
Lawyer Saliu Tal also says the 1997 constitution is not fit for the kind of democracy Gambians want.
Almost 7 out of 10 want a new constitution. Only 24% want to keep the 1997 constitution. So I think it is very clear that Gambians overwhelmingly don't want the 1997 constitution as a starting point. It's very important, we know that, because of what it represents to us for the past 22 years, without getting into the details. It was really a constitution that was designed and manipulated over a period of time to enable a dictatorship. It's not a constitution fit for the kind of democracy that we want as Gambians, we've chosen in 2016-17. Now, 67% of Gambians want the introduction of the 2020 with amendments. That also shows that the rejected draft, people want it to come back as a base, I guess, as this entry point, and okay with amendments. But
the discussion underscored the need for continuous engagement with citizens to ensure that their voices are heard and reflected in governance processes. The Afrobarometer initiative is a Pan-African research network, aims to promote informed dialogue on democracy, governance and development across the continent. With this latest data release, the Gambia joins a growing list of countries benefiting from the insight generated by Afrobarometer, paving the way for more responsive and inclusive governance. For Star TV News, this is Awasane.